అందరికీ నమస్తే. అఖిల భారతీయ రాష్ట్రీయ శైక్షిక్ మహాసంఘ్ ఈరోజు 2047 వికసిత్ భారత్ అనే ఒక అంశాన్ని తీసుకుని ఈ కార్యక్రమాన్ని ఏర్పాటు చేసినందుకు నిర్వాహకులకి చాలా కృతజ్ఞతలు, ధన్యవాదాలు తెలియజేస్తున్నాను. Generally, in success, we tend to live in history. History is important. But those who forget history are condemned to repeat it. చరిత్రని మరచిన వారు చరిత్రలో జరిగిన తప్పిదాలని మరలా చేసేటువంటి అవకాశం ఉంటుంది. But those who live in history will forget their future. చరిత్రలోనే ఉండిపోయేవారు భవిష్యత్తును కోల్పోతారు. మన దగ్గర ఒక పెద్ద కవి ఆయన చెప్పాడు, గతం నాస్తి కాదు, అది అనుభవాల ఆస్తి. అయితే గతాన్ని స్వాగతం చేసుకుని భావికి స్వాగతం పలుకుదాం. You have to learn lessons from your past, but your vision should be forward-looking. When you today celebrate the return of Ram to Ayodhya, you must remember, we all must remember, that when Ram returned to Ayodhya, he did not talk about the Vanvas of 14 years. He talked about the Ram Rajya of the future. We are on the cusp of a major transformation today. Take great pride in our past, in our history, in our achievements, in our successes, in our failures. Learn lessons from them. But remember, the direction should be forward-looking. Ayodhya, linguistically speaking, is Ayuddha, non-war. Lanka was about war, but Ayodhya was about peace. Whatever conflict happened, whatever struggles happened, whatever battles we witnessed in the last hundreds of years, were for building Ayodhya, meaning a place where war has no place. Yuddha Rahita Bhumi Ayodhya. From there, the march should be towards Ram Rajya. We are on that cusp today. We are on the phase of that transformation today. That is why I said I wanted to congratulate and compliment the organizers of this event for taking up that kind of a futuristic topic. As to from here to 2047, 20 years from now, where do we have to go and where do we have to reach? I just have to highlight only 5 important aspects that we need to bring in, understand, for Bharat to become what we all want it to become, a Vikasit Bharat. Vice Chancellor Sahab just now mentioned, development just doesn't mean economic development. You know, the most prosperous and happiest country in the world is called Monaco. इसका per capita हमारे per capita से 100 times है और 50-60 times है. Happiest country है. But do you remember? Liechtenstein है third prosperous country in the world in terms of development, most developed country. Do we want that kind of India to be created? No. When we talk about Vikasit Bharat, we are talking about that Vikasit Bharat which the leaders of our freedom movement had in their minds, in their hearts, when they sacrificed their lives for our freedom. Otherwise, India was developing well under the British. Do you know that our GDP was growing? Do you know that we were getting railways? Do you know that we were getting shipping? We were getting telegraph. We were getting everything, jobs, employment, industry. British तो दे ही रहे थे, gradually कर रहे थे. Then why did we want them to go? Because for us, Vikas did not mean just economic prosperity. It meant the full blossoming of our personality, our identity, our personality. भारत भारत रहना चाहिए. That is why we wanted independence, and we secured it. When we became independent, Nehru was asked by people, what kind of an independent India do you want to see? Nehru's instant reply, because of his training and education and everything, was, his instant response was that, okay, I want a democratic kind of India to be built in this country. The same question was asked to Gandhi ji. Gandhi ji ने कहा कि देखो भाई, I am not very well versed in these European ideas, democracy, parliamentary democracy, this democracy, that. I am not so very well versed. I just want an India which is Ram Rajya. But then Gandhi explains. He says, by Ram Rajya, I do not mean theocracy. ఇక్కడ ఏదో మత రాజ్యం తీసుకురావాలని కాదు నా ఉద్దేశం. By Ram Rajya, what I mean is that the weakest shall have as much power as the strongest. The last man on the street shall also feel that confidence, that power, as the first man in probably the power portals of power. Deendayal Upadhyaya, who is the ideological fountainhead of most of us, all the organizations we belong to, he used to say that democracy for India means consensus building. Sarva Sahamati hai Loktantra. Building consensus, building unity, that should be India's model of democracy. That was Ram Rajya. So when we talk about Vikasit Bharat, these fundamentals should not be forgotten. But for any country to be really a Vikasit country, really a Vikasit Bharat, especially for a country like Bharat, which has a history of how many thousand years now, we do not know. If I say 5 millennia, some people may take objection. But for an ancient country like ours, there should be at least 5 important elements of this Vikasit Drusya that we should be able to experience in 2047. The first is clarity about our identity. Who are we? Are we clear? Do you want to be your own self, or you want to be a carbon copy of somebody else? Biggest problem for us right from the independence has been that we are pushed into a big confusion and dilemma. If you stand up and talk about your own self, your own culture, your own religion, your own traditions, your own practices, you are afraid that you will be branded a fundamentalist, illiberal fellow, anti-secular fellow, you are a communalist. The problem is we accepted these benchmarks. Not that they are our benchmarks. We never set those benchmarks. मैंने कहा था, गांधी जी ने कहा कि राम राज्य बनाओ, हमने क्यों नहीं माना? हमको लगा कि नहीं, रामराज्य अगर हम कहेंगे तो यूरोप वाला क्या कहेगा हमको? अमेरिकन्स, व्हाट वुड दे से अबाउट अस? So we actually needed validation from those people who did not have any history. Their political ideas had just 2 or 3 centuries of history. All the political ideas that originated in countries like Europe, or for that matter America, had only 200 years, 300 years of history. But we accepted those as benchmarks. अगर उसके साथ हम नहीं रहेंगे, हमारे मन में गिल्ट है, अरे अगर ऐसा है तो लोग हमको क्या ब्रांड कर देंगे. May I tell you, this sense of diffidence, this sense of guilt began right from the time of our constitution making. Nehruji's famous speech was there in the Constituent Assembly, in which he says, you know, when we are at this great transformative moment of independence, I just remember this grand 5,000-year history of my country. I get bewildered. I get intimidated. मुझे डर लगता है. क्या मैं 5,000 साल इतिहास वाले देश का, can I be the representative leader of this country, this great ancient country? I get bewildered. I get intimidated. These are Nehru's words. मेरा शब्द नहीं है, ना पदाल का भी. And he says there is a great future. That future also intimidates me. So Nehru found an easy way out. He said, why to get intimidated by this history, this great past of ours? Ignore that past. Simply copy from the Europeans. Friends, we have today come to a stage where we have to reject those benchmarks. Do we need certificates from those countries which do not qualify to be what they are today? Do you know? Let me just give you the one benchmark that we always put: secularism. మన మీద అయితే భూతంలాగా కూర్చుంది అది. Lot of debate happened in Constituent Assembly when we were making the constitution as to whether India should be called a secular socialist country or not. Do you know, unanimously it was decided we don't have to call ourselves secular. Ambedkar says we are anyway having a secular constitution, we respect every religion, so there is no need for calling ourselves, specially calling secular. Nehru says India is a deeply religious country. So for a deeply religious country like India, this European notion of secularism can create a lot of confusion. I mean, he tells Krishna Menon, who was preparing the preamble of our constitution, that go slow on this word. This was even Nehru. Because we are a very deeply religious society. We very naturally integrate religion with our day-to-day life. This is not quite, very unusual in this country. If you are a Hindu, you start your things as a Hindu. If you are a Muslim, you do everything as a Muslim. You go to any government office, a Hindu has a Bhagwan in front of him on his table. कई लोगों के कंप्यूटर स्क्रीन पे रहता है. If it is a Christian, he will have Jesus photo in front of him. If he is a Muslim, he will have an ayat from Quran in front of him. Can you tell him that you are a secular country? You could have it. You can't say that. You should have accepted that I am a religious country. But हमको तो उनका सर्टिफिकेट लेना था. किनका लेना था? उनसे जिनका व्यवहार देखिए. UK, it still recognizes Christianity as its official religion. UK का जो किंग या क्वीन होता है, that king or queen has to publicly owe his or her allegiance to not any Christianity but Anglican Christianity only. Now, should we say that UK is a communal country? In USA, president, when he takes oath, he takes it by placing his hand on the Bible. India mein that permission is not there, remember. India mein you can invoke in the name of God, you can say. But you can't put Bhagavad Gita हाथ में रख के लेता हूँ, वो हम क्योंकि हम सेकुलर है. We are more secular than America. क्योंकि अमेरिका में तो एक बिशप खड़ा रहता है, बिशप के हाथ में बाइबल रहता है, उसके ऊपर प्रेसिडेंट हाथ रख के ओथ लेता है. What happened was, we never had that confidence that my identity I should not give up. I said Germany recognizes Christianity is the country's major religion. Is Germany a communal country? In our constitution, we don't officially recognize any religion. We called certain groups as minorities, we never defined. It's a big kahani, I'm not going into that story. But countries, until 1984, तो Italy में Roman Catholicism used to be the official religion for Italy. 84 में उनका पोप से एग्रीमेंट हुआ, पोप ने कहा कि वो मैं रखता हूँ, तुम उसको हटा दो, तो वो हटा दिया. Are they not secular? First of all, we have to get out of this big confusion. Be yourself. Be proud of the culture, religion, identity of this country. That kind of Bharat, that kind of identity we have to build for this country, not a copycat identity from the Western countries, Western power. Second, for Bharat, next 20 years will be the challenge of unity. We need to create a united Bharat. When we say Bharat, it belongs to 1.4 billion people of this country. As I said, in this Ram Rajya, everyone shall have equal power. That kind of a united Bharat is what we need to create. Anything that goes against the unity in whatever form, in whatever way, will come in the way of Bharat becoming Vikasit in 2047. The vision for it, while you need to have very strong roots in your national identity, you also need to have great unity. Number 2 requirement is a united Bharat. Number 3, we need to build a prosperous Bharat. Bharat, when I say prosperity, initially I said, do you want to become like Monaco? Yeah, we don't want to become like Monaco because Monaco has money but nothing else. We, with such a long history, long past, long antiquity, we should have all that great antiquity that you wear on your sleeves with pride, but you also should have money. You know, the entire philosophy of this country revolves around only one word, and that word is Anand. Anand से जीना है, हंसते हंसते जीना है. हमारे यहाँ that prayer होता है, सर्वे सुखिनः सन्तु, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. People may say, instead of me, some Swamiji is standing here, Swamiji hai yahan. They will say that no, this is a prayer about the afterlife. मरने के बाद तो सुख रहना है. नहीं, it's about this life. ఈ జీవితంలో సుఖంగా ఉండాలి. సర్వే సుఖినః సంతు, సర్వే నిరామయాः means no diseases. Away from ill health, diseases. You should be, everybody should be away from diseases. Sarve Bhadrani Pasyantu means you should enjoy good things in life. Good things, you should have a TV, you should have a car, you should have a good house, lot of money. Good things in life you should have. माँ का से दुख भाग भवे तो रोने का कारण नहीं होना चाहिए जीवन में. It's all about this life. But the condition precedent is sarve. Everybody should enjoy the fruits of this prosperity. For everybody to enjoy the fruits of prosperity, everybody else who has got prosperity should share it. That is what Gandhi used to say. We believe in trusteeship. So we have to work for a prosperous Bharat, but prosperous not just in terms of GDP, but prosperity equally of happiness to all. That kind of prosperity you have to build. For that prosperity to happen, because we are all educators, I must tell you, it happens through three means: education, health, and technology. These are three means by which prosperity is created. In this, Bharat is miles behind, miles behind. Do you know, university students, university teachers are sitting here. Where do we stand in R&D today? Where is research happening? We are nowhere compared to the world. I can give you tons of data. I will just give you a couple of simple things. Do you know that in any given year, this is 2021 data I am sharing with you, China produced 4 million applications for patents. 25% of those patents are called high-value patents, like global level patents. USA, 1.8 million. UK, 1.6 million. Bharat, 60,000. And these 60,000, 50% are domestic patents. Like you can only sell them locally. Lot of work has to happen in the area of R&D. What we call as innovation is not innovation that is happening. Imitation is happening. You call it innovation. It's not creativity, it's copying that is happening. Because we have become very lazy. We need to tighten our belts in our institutions. We need to create original research in our country. We don't even create dictionaries, you know. Telugulo ippudi kuda Brown nigantuve standard nigantu. ఆ బ్రౌన్ అనే ఆయన ఎప్పుడో ఆంగ్లేయుల సమయంలో దానికి తెలిపాడు. తరువాత మనకి తీరిక లేదు. లాంగ్వేజ్ టీచర్స్ ఆర్ దేర్. వి డోంట్ హ్యావ్ టైం. దీనికి తెలుగు పదం లేదు. మొబైలు అని రాస్తాం. రష్యన్ వర్డ్ ఈజ్ దేర్, చైనీస్ వర్డ్ ఈజ్ దేర్. ప్రపంచంలో అత్యధికమైనటువంటి అక్షరాలు ఉన్నటువంటి తెలుగు భాష, దాదాపు 60 అక్షరాల భాష. ప్రపంచంలో ఏ భాషకి ఇన్ని అక్షరాలు లేవు. ఆంగ్లేయులకి 26 అక్షరాలు ఉన్నాయంటే 26 అక్షరాలతో వాడు ఎంత భాషను తయారు చేశారంటే ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్ వచ్చేస్తుంది అని చెప్తున్నాము. ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్ ఇంగ్లీష్ వర్డ్ ఎందుకైంది? దానికి తెలుగు పదం ఏంటి? కృత్రిమ బుద్ధి అంటావా? యు హావ్ టు ఇన్వెంట్, క్రియేట్ వర్డ్స్. We are lazy. We don't want to. You know, మన పూర్వీకులు రైలు బండి వచ్చినప్పుడు దానికి దోమ శకటము అని పదం తెచ్చారా లేదా? కానీ ఇవాళ ఐటీ అని వస్తే దానికి పదం తీసుకురావట్లేదు మనం. డిజిటల్ అనే వస్తే దాన్నే వాడేస్తున్నాం. సైబర్ వస్తే అదే వాడేస్తున్నాం. వాడకూడదని కాదు. లాంగ్వేజెస్ షుడ్ అబ్జర్వ్ వర్డ్స్ ఫ్రమ్ ఆల్ అదర్ లాంగ్వేజెస్. మీరు అబ్జర్వ్ చేయాలి. కానీ భాషని దాని మీద దృష్టి పెట్టి డెవలప్ కూడా చేయాలి. అదర్వైజ్ మే టెల్ యూ, తెలుగు ఈజ్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ది ఫాస్టెస్ట్ డయింగ్ లాంగ్వేజెస్ ఇన్ ది వరల్డ్. We don't do research. So friends, we have to focus on these areas. 2047 ఇదేం ఫేట్ అకంప్లీ కాదు, విషయంలో అయిపోవడం. We have to work hard. So research has to be ramped up, R&D has to be ramped up, educational standards have to improve. ప్రపంచపు ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్స్ లిస్టులో మనము టాప్ 50లో టాప్ 100లో 1-2 తప్పితే కనిపించాం మనం. ఏమంటే నేనే వాళ్ళ బెంచ్ మార్కులు తప్పండి అంటాం. కానీ వాడు ఎవడైనా ఏదైనా పొరపాటున మీ యూనివర్సిటీలో ఈ ఫలానా డిపార్ట్మెంట్ బాగుంది అంటే రోజంతా ప్రచారం చేస్తాం. చూడండి వాడు సర్టిఫికేట్ ఇచ్చారు. వాడు సర్టిఫికేట్ ఇస్తే తీసుకుంటాం. వాడు లేదే నువ్వు వెనకబడి ఉన్నావు, నీ బెంచ్ మార్కే తప్పు అంటే ఎలా? Accept the same benchmarks, build institutions. Very important for creating prosperity. Fourth, security, we have to create security. External security, don't worry, safely in the hands of Modi ji. External security. ఇవాళ వాళ్ళే భయపడుతున్నారు, పక్కన ఉన్న వాళ్ళే. ఒకప్పుడు వాళ్ళని చూసి మనం భయపడేవాళ్ళం. ఇవాళ వాళ్ళు భయపడుతున్నారు, ఈయన రేపు పొద్దున ఏం చేస్తాడని. ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్ ఎస్టర్డే నజం సేఠి అని ఒక పెద్ద వెరీ రినౌండ్ జర్నలిస్ట్ ఇన్ పాకిస్తాన్ ఆయన టీవీలో ఇంటర్వ్యూ ఇచ్చాడు. ఆయన ఏం చెప్పాడంటే, ఇదో ఇండియాలో ఎలక్షన్ అవుతున్నాయి, పాకిస్తాన్ షుడ్ బి వెరీ కేర్ఫుల్, మోదీజీ కుछ भी कर देंगे, डर है कुछ भी कर देंगे. External security is fine, but is internal security also in good shape? When I say internal security, are our women safe? Are our vehicle sections safe? ఈ రోజున ప్రతి వ్యక్తి ఈ దేశంలో నేను సురక్షితంగా ఉన్నానని భావించేటటువంటి భారతదేశం నిర్మాణం చేయాలి. విమెన్ సెక్యూరిటీ షుడ్ బి ఎ ప్రయారిటీ ఫర్ ఎవ్రీబడి, నాట్ పాసిబుల్ ఓన్లీ త్రూ లాస్. వీ హ్యావ్ వెరీ గుడ్ లాస్. నిర్భయ యాక్ట్ gives capital punishment, hanging as the punishment for those who violate the decency of women, dignity of women. But రేపు లాకపోయా, అత్యాచారాలు జరగడం లేదా? మైండ్ సెట్ షుడ్ చేంజ్. Mind set should change from our homes and from our institutions. You have to build a mindset of respect, granting dignity to women in this country. ప్రైమ్ మినిస్టర్ గారు 2014లో ఎర్రకోట నుంచి ఉపన్యాసం ఇచ్చారు. ఫస్ట్ స్పీచ్ ఆన్ 15th August. ఆయన మంచి మాట చెప్పారు. మన ఇంట్లో మన అమ్మాయి రాత్రి 7 గంటల తర్వాత ఇంటికి వస్తే 10 ప్రశ్నలు అడుగుతాం. ఎక్కడున్నావు ఇప్పుడు దాకా, ఎందుకు ఇంత లేట్ అయింది, మొబైల్ చూపించు, ఎవరితో చాటింగ్ చేస్తున్నావు, ఎవరింటికి వెళ్ళావు చెప్పు అని. అవుట్ ఆఫ్ కన్సర్న్, సెక్యూరిటీ కన్సర్న్. మోదీ గారు చెప్పారు, మన మహానుభావుడు కొడుకు మహానుభావుడు 11ంటికి వస్తాడు రాత్రి. వాట్ డూ యూ ఆస్క్ హిమ్? బెటా తిన్నావా లేదా అని అడుగుతాం, అంతే కదా. ఆయన చెప్పారు, కొడుకును కూడా ఇవన్నీ అడుగుంటే, మొబైల్ చూపించు, ఎక్కడ తిరుగుతున్నావు, ఎవరితో మాట్లాడుతున్నావు, ఏం చేస్తున్నావు అని చెప్పి చేస్తుంటే నువ్వు నీ కూతురు అడగకల్లా. You have to teach dignity to the generation here, not just laws. India has the history of dignity as the benchmark for women's security. What was Draupadi's history? What was Mahabharata war? Just violation of dignity of one woman led to a massive war. Dignity. We have to teach our generation. That is security. That is internal security. The scheduled caste people, the scheduled tribe people, the minority people here should feel secure. Everybody should feel secure. That kind of security environment we have to create. And finally, dignity of our nation. Remember, it is not automatic. Indians are very romantic. మనం చాలా రొమాంటిక్ పీపుల్. విశ్వగురు అయిపోయినాము అని ఆల్రెడీ డిక్లేర్ చేస్తున్నారు సోషల్ మీడియాలో. విశ్వగురు యూ వోంట్ డిక్లేర్. విశ్వగురు ఈజ్ వాట్ ది అదర్స్ డిక్లేర్ అబౌట్ యూ. You have to raise this country to that level of dignity where the outsiders will say, you are our guru. నిన్న రాష్ట్రపతి మేడం గారు ఉపన్యాసం ఇచ్చారు లోక్సభలో. ఆమె చెప్పారు, ఆమె విశ్వగురు అని చెప్పలే, విశ్వమిత్ర అని చెప్పారు. We want to be friends with the world. We have no enemies. We will try to help everybody in the world. In the process, we get the dignity, respect in the world. At one point, they will understand this is the country to which we should turn. That kind of dignity, dignity of Bharat and dignity of every Bharatiya must be ensured. Today, luckily, మనందరూ కూడా బంధువులు ఉంటారు విదేశాల్లో. 10 ఏళ్ల క్రితమో 15 ఏళ్ల క్రితమో నేను ఇండియన్ని అని చెప్పడానికి సంకోచిస్తూ ఉండేవారు. కానీ ఈ రోజున దే ప్రౌడ్లీ సే దట్ వీఆర్ భారతీయాస్, వీఆర్ ఇండియన్స్. దట్ సెన్స్ ఆఫ్ ప్రైడ్ దట్ కమ్స్ త్రూ the dignity that this nation acquires must be enhanced. Nothing should be done that will lower the dignity of this country. Fortunately, the leadership of our country is very conscious. మనం అప్పుడప్పుడు ఈ రొమాంటిసిజంలో కొన్ని చెప్పేస్తుంటాం. సోషల్ మీడియాలో నేను చదువుతుంటా, we are Vishwagurus. It is our duty to go and stop Israel-Hamas war. Only we can do that. Israel-Hamas వార్ నుంచి, రష్యా-యుక్రెయిన్ వార్ నుంచి, రెడ్ సీలో జరుగుతున్న కాన్ఫ్లిక్ట్ వరకు అన్నీ మనం ఆపేయగలం అని పరమ విశ్వాసం మనకి. గుడ్, దట్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ సెల్ఫ్ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ ఈజ్ గుడ్. అండ్ మన దగ్గర తెలుగులో చెప్తారు, ఆసక్తి ఉంటే సరిపోదే, ఆసక్తి కూడా ఉండాలని. We have to build that strength. We have to build that capacity. Our government is conscious. We are building the country's stature in the world. Nothing should be done to lower the dignity of our country. Friends, these 5 are the next, the mantra for next 20 years for this country. When Prime Minister talks about Vikasit Bharat in 2047, it's not just about economics. Okay, economics we have taken up. We will grow. We will become a $5 trillion economy very soon. By 2028, IMF says Bharat will be a $5 trillion economy. But take my words, $5 trillion is not going to make Bharat a Vikasit Bharat. Because with 5 trillion also, in terms of per capita GDP, we will be way behind more than 100 countries in the world. For a decent life to be extended to every citizen of our country, every Bharatiya, you need at least the minimum economic size should be $10 trillion. Where, I mean, ideally $15 trillion if you want a kind of a middle class that China today has. If you want to create that kind of a middle class in Bharat, you have to cross $15 trillion. $5 trillion ke gantulestunna manam. Do you know, next 20 years, you have to build an economy of $15 trillion. Friends, that is the kind of Vikasit Bharat that we should have in front of us as the ideal, as the goal. Every citizen has to work towards it. As I said, building, infusing this sense of pride about the identity, building unity in the country, creating prosperity through education, through technology, through innovation, through R&D, creating a secure Bharat for every Bharatiya. Every Indian should feel secure, such kind of a secure Bharat. And finally, enhancing nation's dignity to a level where the world says, you are our Guru. Not hum trumpet karenge, wo nahi. World kahega ki aap Vishwa Guru hai. This should be the vision for us for next 20 years. That is what our Prime Minister, our leadership mean when they say we have to use these 20 years as Amrit Kaal. The mantra for Amrit Kaal is 5-fold, proposition on which we all should work. I thank all of you for your patience listening.